Let's
Yes.
now turn our attention to the Middle East, where Iran has launched its largest ever attack on Israel, firing over 100 ballistic missiles. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in
Yes.
reaction, said Iran had made a big mistake and will pay.
Okay. Really?
There are fears of a wider all-out war between Israel and Iran. This comes as Israel's Prime Minister
Uh-huh.
Benjamin Netanyahu declared that Iran will pay after Iran fired around 180 missiles at Israel on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Most of the missiles were intercepted. One Palestinian was killed in the West Bank, and a school in central Israel and restaurants in Tel
Uh-huh.
Aviv were hit. Iran said the barrage was in response to Israel's
Yes.
aggressive acts, including the killing of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. Iran's military chief also warned of broader strikes if Israel responds. Following statements from the two
Yes.
regional military powerhouses, Iran has insisted it has absolutely no interest in a broader war. As it escalates its war with Hezbollah,
Okay.
Israel says it is sending additional forces to its
Wow.
ground operation inside Lebanon, which began earlier this week and has told more villages to evacuate. Hezbollah, in
Really?
reaction, says it repelled an Israeli ground attack in Lebanon on Wednesday, and it has continued firing rockets at
Okay.
Israel.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, Israel has carried out more airstrikes on Beirut
Uh-huh.
overnight. More than 1,000 people have been killed in Lebanon
Uh-huh.
in the past 2 weeks, and hundreds of thousands have been forced to flee their homes because of Israeli offensive against Hezbollah. The
Uh-huh.
Israel Defense Forces issued a new warning for people around 25
Yes.
southern Lebanese villages to evacuate. It follows a warning issued yesterday for a similar number of areas. About 5 of the villages included in the latest message were also included in yesterday's
Yes.
warning. The warning from the Israel Defense Forces comes after reports of fighting inside southern Lebanon.
Okay.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and his Moroccan counterpart Nasser Bourita have met in
Really?
Washington amid rising tensions in the Middle East. The two leaders exchanged views on developments in North
Okay.
Africa and the
Uh-huh.
Middle East. Mr. Blinken revealed that the U.S. would keep
Uh-huh.
working on de escalating the conflict in the region. Ties
Uh-huh.
between Washington and Rabat have improved significantly since the United States supported Morocco's claim over Western Sahara in
Uh-huh.
December of 2020. Well, let's speak more on
Yes.
the tensions in the Middle East. I have joining me diplomat in residence, School of International Service, American University, El Win. Good to have you join us on World Now. Before our very eyes,
Yes.
this war is taking unprecedented dimensions. What are your thoughts about the latest escalations?
Well, I think we are in
Okay.
dangerous territory. There's no question about that.
Wow.
Israel has taken advantage of a number of opportunities to move in
Really?
against Hezbollah in Lebanon, trying to create space for their
Okay.
60,000 or so
Uh-huh.
citizens that have had to move away from the border there.
Uh-huh.
They had some very large tactical successes
Uh-huh.
in doing this, and we've just seen this response from Iran, which appears to have been largely ineffective, with most of
Uh-huh.
the weapons launched against Israel shot down.
Yes.
So Israel has now said we will respond to that, and we're at a point where we could see a series of escalatory moves, or
Yes.
hopefully we'll be able to have some space where we can calm the tensions down and not have it go any further. But right now, we don't know.
Okay.
And as it is, Israel has criticized
Wow.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres for failing to, in his words, in the foreign minister's words now,
Really?
unequivocally condemn Iran's heinous attack. And he's been banned really from entering Israel. What's the
Okay.
implication of this?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think right now
Uh-huh.
Israel is feeling that they have restored their ability
Uh-huh.
to uh, take deterrent actions against their enemies in the region. And they feel that they are the ones that were the victims, beginning with the Hamas attack
Yes.
and then going through the Hezbollah firings into Lebanon. And so they believe that they should be supported by international partners when Iran launches a ballistic and other missile attack from their country directly to Israel. As you know, Iran said that they were taking this attack in response to killings in recent months, both against Hezbollah leaders, but also against a number of Iranian figures, security figures, who were killed in the process of some of this action. So I think Israel is feeling a bit defiant at the moment that their difficult situation should be recognized by others. I think most people in the international community are overtly concerned at the moment of trying to stop any further escalation in this process and not not deciding who's right and who's wrong at this very moment.
But do you have reasons to think there are certain persons, groups, or countries benefiting from this tension and working against a de-escalation?
Well, I think there are certainly certain parties in the Middle East, other than Israel, that are not unhappy to see Iran and its proxy forces in various parts of the Middle East cut down to size a little bit, because there are always those worries that Iran and its allies may be becoming too powerful. So there's certainly that group of countries. But I think overall, there's really it's not easy to identify somebody that would benefit from a further escalation in this conflict, either geopolitically or even if we think economically to what might happen if there were a larger conflict to oil prices internationally. So I think that the vast majority of people would like to see somehow to get this onto a path of I don't know what it might be. It might be an informal ceasefire, an informal de-escalation, but to stop the violence from increasing. And then maybe we could also get back to finishing the work to help Gaza out and to bring a ceasefire to Gaza that could allow more humanitarian aid and other assistance to move into that area.
Right, then, diplomat in residence, School of International Service, American University, Earl Wayne, thank you for talking to us on World Now.
Thank you for inviting me.